Before we start our low voltage DC wiring, let's go over some of the components that are included with our batteries. First, we have our battery to eyelet cable, our positive and our negative, as well as our bus bars. We have our BMS cables and our eyelet to eyelet cables, and then finally our RJ45 splitter. Let's start out by mounting our bus bars beneath the inverter, connecting our eyelet to eyelet cable to the bus bars, connecting the battery cables to the bus bars, and then finally connecting the cables to the batteries. This will ensure that when connecting the eyelets to the bus bars, there is no voltage present on the cables until everything has been installed. At this point, we've installed our bus bars beneath the inverter and have connected our eyelet to eyelet cable to the bus bars itself. We've also connected our battery cables from battery 1 and battery 2. We can now install our bus bar covers and then connect our battery cables to the batteries. This will now allow us to have the batteries in parallel and connected to the inverter. It's important to note that after connecting the battery cables to the batteries, the terminal beneath the inverter will be hot, so use extra care from here on out. Before connecting the batteries, we need to ensure that there is voltage at the terminals on the top of the battery, and we need to ensure that each battery is within 0.5 volts from each other. If there is greater than 0.5 volts, we need to charge each individual battery up so that we are within range of the 0.5 volts. I'm going to take my multimeter and switch it to DC volts. I can insert my red probe into the positive terminal and my black into the negative. And here I have 52.5 volts. I'll repeat the same steps on the second battery, which I show 52.7. After checking the voltage on each battery, and I know that it's within range, I can now connect each battery. I'll start by connecting the positives and then follow up with connecting the negatives.
NASCAR just for the crashes.
Dan, are you going to want a shot before he covers this all up?
At this point, we've installed our grid input from our main panel directly to the grid input terminal on the inverter. On our load output, we've ran our wire directly to our manual transfer switch. We have landed our solar on our MPPT charge controllers, and we have connected our batteries to our bus bar, and from our bus bar directly to our eyelet-to-eyelet cables. We will now test the voltage on our DC terminals to ensure that the batteries have voltage present on this terminal. I will now use my multimeter to test the voltage at the DC inverter terminal, which I see 52.7, and that indicates that voltage is coming from both batteries.